read about the movies I was way too cowardly to actually watch. Presenting the award for nonfiction, please welcome Anthony Timpone and Michael Nost.
Well, the nominations for Best Nonfiction are To Each Their Darkness by Gary A. Brombeck, The Conspiracy Against the Human Race by Thomas Ligotti, Wanted, Undead or Alive by Jonathan Mayberry and Janice Gable-Goshman, and Listen to the Echoes, the Ray Bradbury interviews by Sam Weller.
And the Stoker goes to Each Their Darkness, Gary Brombeck.
And accepting for Gary is?
Gary, sorry you couldn't be here tonight, but he asked me to say, I'd like to thank the Stoker Committee for determining this book's eligibility for consideration. I want to thank everyone who put their faith in the form of a vote and cast it for this book. So much of horror writing is determined by the sensibilities of the writer, him or herself, that it only seemed right to detail some of my own sensibilities on the page. I am deeply humbled by this award and wish I were there to celebrate our field with all of you. Thank you so much for this honor, and I would also like to ask that you raise a glass to the memory of my father, Frank Henry Brownbeck, who passed away this night 10 years ago. You would have liked him. He would have thought all of you, like his son, a bit weird. But in Dad's world, weird was a good thing. Thank you, Dad. I still miss you and Mom every day. And thank you, my fellow writers and editors, for this fantastic show of support.
Presenting the award for Best Specialty Press, please welcome Marge Simon.
Hi. I'm your HWA board chairman, and it's a great honor to have this particular duty, which is to present the Dark Reading Specialty Press Award. The annual Specialty Press Award recognizes a publisher outside the mainstream New York City publishing community that specializes in dark-themed fiction. Winners are typically small presses specializing in limited editions, small print runs, or the work of new and relatively unknown authors. The winner of the award is determined by a majority vote of the HWA Board of Trustees. Joe Morey's Dark Regions Press emphasizes horror, publishing novels, novellas, single-author collections, and poetry. They publish both fine-bound, limited editions, and trade editions. And their authors have included Michael A. Arnson, Bruce Boston, Angeline Hawkes, Charlie Jacob, Scott Nicholson, Stephen Mark Rainey, Tony Richards, Gord Rollo, Steve Seville, Harry Shannon, Dave B. Silva, myself, Jeff Strand, and David Niall Wilson, among many others. And we would very much like to show you this. Is a very nice looking piece here. And accepting for Joe Morey, who cannot be here, is Bruce Boston.
Well, Joe's sorry he can't be here, but he did give me an acceptance speech. Here we go. I have been publishing for 25 years, and it has been my great privilege and honor to work with many talented writers, poets, and artists in the small press genre. I think the Dark Regions Press has been an excellent vehicle to help nurture and inspire these new talents to produce some of their best work. And they have certainly inspired me to want to produce the best possible books, insomuch as I especially enjoy putting together excellent short story and poetry collections. I would like to give my sincerest thanks to the HWA trustees for honoring Dark Regions Press with the 210 Specialty Press Award. Thanks to all of the editors and book designers who worked with me through the years, and all of the writers, poets, and artists who have inspired me to continue to publish. I would also like to give thanks to my good friends, Bruce Boston, Mark Simon, Geo Clark, and to Steve Kaufman of Oregon Bookbinding Company. But the most special thanks have to go to my immediate family, especially my mother, Marie Morey, my father-in-law, Arthur R. Jensen, my son, Christopher Jack Morey, and my wife, Bobby Cinnamore, for their love and support through the years. I give everyone my warmest heartfelt thanks. This is quite an honor, and I will always treasure this award. Thank you.
Volunteering for a writers' organization can be a very stressful and thankless task. And the Silver Hammer Award is given to a volunteer who does an absolutely insane amount of work for the organization. The hammer represents the careful, steady, continuous work of building the Horror Writers Association house, and also the fun of finding the member most likely to snap and handing them a bludgeoning tool. Presenting the Silver Hammer Award, please welcome Leslie Klinger.
Thanks, Jeff. The Board of Trustees and those of us who get to come to evenings like this and other events sponsored by HWA get the good stuff. This evening looks effortless, but some of us know how much perspiration went into this and goes into everything that HWA does. It's a lot of work, and it's done by people who care about advancing the craft, advancing the genre, and don't always get the recognition. This award is a small effort to reverse that and give suitable recognition. As Jeff said, it's given to a volunteer who's done a truly massive amount of work for the organization and probably should have been hit in the head with this a long time ago. Tonight's award is going to Angela McCoy. Angela has overseen the Dark Whispers blog. She's put together the wiki. She's been there to basically do everything when nobody else would volunteer. And a special member like that deserves as many prizes as we can give her. Angela, come on up.
So much time tracking down porn saying on the wiki. But I really appreciate it. You guys are the best, and I'm so grateful that you've included me.
Just so you know, that is not a prop hammer. That thing will take you out. Horror anthologies can have themes as narrow as zombie skeletons with cold sores to themes as broad as horror. The 5 nominated works tonight have a combined total of 121 contributors. So however it works out, join the winner after the banquet for the traditional trophy dicing. Presenting the award for Best Anthology, please welcome Vince Lagano and Chad Helder.
Anthology.
Sanctuary of the short story.
Literary tapas.
Where tables of contents are the who's who of genre fiction.
This year's nominees for Superior Achievement in Anthology include collections that explore the intersections of faith and horror, haunted legends, fearful fiction with an Australian twist, the flesh-eating undead, and the fourth installment of a popular horror series.
And the nominees for Superior Achievement in an Anthology are
Dark Faith, edited by Maurice Broaddus and Jerry Gordon.
Horror Library 4, edited by R.J. Cavender and Boyd E. Harris.
Macabre, A Journey Through Australia's Darkest Fears, edited by Angela Chalice and Marty Young.
Haunted Legends, edited by Ellen Datlow and Nick Mamatas.
And The New Dead, edited by Christopher Golden.
And the winner is
Haunted Legends by Ellen Datlow.
Yeah, I can't wear my high heels. Thank you. Oops. Oh, here we go again. Nick and I thank you all very much. We'd like to thank, I have two guys writing them down. But anyway, huh? No, it isn't. I left. I just didn't do anything. Anyway, I'd like to thank everyone who voted for the anthology. I'd like to thank my editor, Nick, and my editor, Jim Frankel at Tor. And most of all, I'd like to thank, as always, the contributors, without whom there would be no book. So thank you all so much.
East overhead, and we opened the floor to reveal a pool where genetically enhanced sharks would fight radioactive oysters, and blood would rain from the ceiling, and spikes would come through the walls. There'd be a grizzly bear in the back, and a hearse would crash into the stage, and you'd all go, ooh. But we couldn't get the clowns. Presenting the award for Best Fiction Collection, please welcome Peter Straub and Douglas Clegg.
Doug is the one on the bow tie. No.
It's invisible.
So how do you want to, shall we?
Well, first I want to know, since I haven't been around the HWA in a while, do you still sleep your way to these awards? Like in my day?
That's right. You and I had to come up the hard way, didn't we?
You get the cocaine out, you get the president, get him, vice president.
So for fiction collection, now that my mind has stopped simmering away after all these occult enterprises, we begin with what? Occultation by Laird Barron.
That's the way you pointed to it, I liked.
Now.
Blood and Gristle by Michael Louis Calvillo. Or Lewis.
Or Calvillo. The Ones That Got Away by Stephen Graham Jones. There you go, man.
Full Dark, No Stars by Stephen King.
And A Host of Shadows by Harry Shannon.
Woo!
And the beautiful girl who wins is...
It's me! The winner is Full Dark, No Stars by Stephen King.
Accepting for Steve King is Joe Hill.
Thanks. Oops.
My dad asked me to accept for him. I said, sure. And he just wanted me to say thanks, and he thinks you're all a pack of sick fucks.
That's high praise.
But that's a quality he admires, and so much appreciated.